Sacco and Feliz, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFeliz.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
We gather here tonight to bring women back to their rightful place.
The Testaments, a new Hulu original series from the executive producers of The Handmaid's Tale.
It's easier to accept a story than believe that the people around you are monsters.
The battle isn't over.
There comes a time when you have to take action, when you have to choose your own destiny.
Never quite as it seems.
Watch the new Hulu original series, The Testaments, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Police responded to a 911 call.
Dramatic video of gun insanity in the Bronx.
Police releasing a new video of a person that they are still trying to track down.
Defund the police is not the answer.
Many people surveyed said they just don't feel safe in the city.
It's a shooting outside of a store.
This is Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast.
Police this morning are searching for the person who turned this Harlem platform to a crime scene.
A Red Apple Media Podcast Network production. Now, here's Bo Dietl.
Welcome to Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. You know, on Tuesday mornings, I usually do Sid Rosenberg's show, but it's very abbreviated. So today, I want to talk about some very important issues with the city of New York, with Mondami, and also on the National Avenue. I'll start up with New York City. You know, we're talking about the city council. They approved a really controversial bill where they have buffer zones around churches and synagogues. The New York City Council, now Mondami didn't want it, but the New York City Council passed it, allowing the NYPD to have buffer zone. That means these people don't have to get in the face of rabbis, churchgoers, or whatever. The vote was 44-5, enough to override the mayor, even if he wanted to veto it. And I got to thank Julie Menon. She was the one that made this happen. Also, when we're talking about New York City schools, you know, we got a new chancellor. All of a sudden, his name is Kamar Samuels. Guess what? He's the chancellor of public schools. But where do you think he sent to school? To an elite private school, the Browning School. Cost over $54,000 a year. I guess he's a man of the people. And let me tell you something. That's a very expensive school. I can't send my grandson, so I guess the people that are working for Mondami don't really suck up to his wants and his ways. Okay. We got to realize with the New York City schools, to stay on that, the enrollment collapsed by $158,000. $158,000. Costs are up millions. So what it's all about is as follows. The school enrollment between 2019 and 2020, we had over 1,200,000 students. Now it's down to 844,000. In 2019, the budget was $33,900 per student. Guess what it is today? $45,200 per student. We're going down, we're spending more. Math and reading proficiency are below COVID levels. So with kids that we got, most of them are not even going to school, but the ones we have aren't learning properly. And how about chronic absenteeism is 37%. Over 1 in 3 students are not even going to school. Oh, what's happening, Mondami? Tell me. The New York City graduation rate's down by the largest year over year. And I'm telling you something, this New York City school chancellor, Kamar Samuels, who's known for dismantling gifted programs. Well, the gifted schools are doing very good. Your public schools are doing like shit. Sorry for cursing. Okay. Now, let's go to this past Saturday. I had to watch on TV No King's Day. And even where I was out in the Hamptons there, everybody's marching around. You know, when you ask people, what are you doing here? Everybody hates Donald Trump. It's all about hating Donald Trump, not if he's doing good, bad, or indifference. And it really pisses me off is when I saw some pictures. All the regular douchebags were there. You had Ray Spattler, Al Sharpton, Mr. Race Beta, Jimmy Kimball, Letitia James, and the idiot co-star of mine, Robert De Niro. Why don't you shut up and do movies, Robert? I tell you what, you're a great actor, but you act like a fool when you start talking about politics. Maybe your problem is, what was her name, Tukey? One of your wives sued you for divorce. Maybe you're looking for the $500 million that you're supposed to pay. Stop it, Robert. Leave Trump alone. Focus on your movies. Maybe we could make another Goodfellas. Okay, now, I was talking about migrant shelters for a long time. They tried to suck me into it with my security company. They didn't suck me in because when I heard they wanted me to bill over $119 for an unarmed security guard when they go and rate maybe $38, but then they told me, oh, you have to, I'll use the word, you have to give to a consultant firm. That's a kickback. I said, I have nothing to do with that. Now it comes out, City Councilwoman Farrah Lewis is being investigated by the federal government. They took $200 million in city contracts, no bid contracts. This is under my friend Eric Adams. Eric, you got a pardon for Turkey and for your airfares. You won't get no pardon now when it comes down because there's going to be a lot of rats. Instead of them going to jail, you know what, Eric? They're going to give you up, Eric. And remember, $12 million a week for the Roosevelt Hotel. No bid contract. Nobody knows. $7 billion. I talk about this all the time. This is the biggest fraudulent thing this city has ever seen. And you know what? My friend Eric Adams, you ran away before you could get re-indicted. But that long arm of the law, if they find something, you know what's going to happen? One of your close people going to rat you out. That's what they do because they don't want to go to jail. So they'll give up the big guy, and you're the big guy. And I tell you what, Eric, I'm very disappointed with you. All right. Also involved with this migrant shelter crap was a former NYPD sergeant, Eduardo St. Ford. He was charged with migrant shelter corruption case. Feds say over 1 million kickbacks with over 1.3 million stolen. His company received $7 million in public funding. Some contracts, no bid. Probe also tied. He didn't even have a security guard license, and he's doing work. Duh. All right, here we go, New York City. What's her name there? Governor Snaggletooth Hochul. Okay, she's pretending is that, you know what? We have a problem, she says. The people are leaving for Florida, Texas. Damn right they're leaving Florida, Texas, because all you want to do in this city and this state is raise the taxes. I'm looking down Florida, too, you know, there, Snaggletooth, because you're not going to continue to do this. While Albany spends like they're going to a Happy Day fair, we got to remember, Verizon is, for example, 13,000 jobs have left this city in telecom, all of these things. Hochul and Mondami now are dealing with the bondholder. You know, we're not going to be able to get any bonds for New York City because it's not going to be solvent because you got a moron, Snaggletooth Hochul, that doesn't know what she's doing up in Albany. And then we got our friend Mondami. Again, he couldn't run a ice cream stand, and now he's running a budget of $120 billion. All I know is one thing. After 5 years of overspending, Hochul's budget is now $265 billion. It ballooned $100 billion since she assumed office. Roughly a 51% increase. I wonder what's going on. And you smile too there, Hochul. You're just like Mondami. My friends at Apollo Global Management, $900 billion asset management, they're looking to take the flight. They're looking to go to Texas and open offices. We're losing everything. My friend Jamie Dimon. Jamie, you built a beautiful $3 billion building. Only problem is, I don't think you're going to have too many people around to go into your building. It is gorgeous. I love your lights. But you know what? With Mondami, he wants your lights off too. He wants to save electric. Oh, my goodness. Okay, the New York City economy, you ready, is in recession. New York City jobs, they lost 5,000 businesses last year. 27,000 new jobs, that's it. But 5,000 businesses left compared to 190,000 jobs annually for the last 4 years. These statistics don't lie. Here we go. Blakeman from Nassau County. I love Blakeman. He's done a great job in Nassau. I have a house in Nassau County. He's done a great job not raising taxes. It's the most secure county in the country. And Blakeman's there, and all of a sudden now, the race for governor with Snaggletooth Hochul, and Blakeman's closing up. Now is a big shift with the independent voters. Blakeman's now up 7%. The race is now 47-34. And who's gaining? Blakeman. And who's losing? Snaggletooth. Okay, let's get to my main culprit of this city, Mondummy. Okay. Debate grows over Mondummy's push to shrink Rikers Island. He wants all the criminals to be out of jail. Okay, in 2019, bail reform, 2,000 inmates were released then. Whoa, let's let them all out. You know what? Crime went up 20% within months. By the end of 2020, murders were up 47%. Burglaries were up 42%. Shootings doubled. Today, 5,600 inmates, 71% of them are charged with murder and violent felonies. Critics say releasing more inmates would just increase the crime on the streets. Don't you know what you're doing, you fool? All right, the New York City's new safety chief, this is his other idea. He raises questions about policing approach. He's saying the police don't know how to handle these things. So he appoints Rena, whatever the hell her name, Retinta Francos, as a deputy mayor for community safety. Nobody knows what community safety, she doesn't even know. She'll lead a new office, get this one, with a $260 million budget. Her salary, $300,000 a year. And when she was asked what she's doing, she's got 2 people in administration to administrate this right now. And you're asking how she's going to do it. Where are you going to find the people? No, I don't know. Just give me the money and I'll find a way. All I know is Francoise there, whatever her name, comes from a background with George Soros. Here's part of your DSA. This is all DSA patriot. And remember, my friend Big Bird de Blasio, his lovely wife, she took $1 billion for the homeless, Operation Thrive, never to let anyone know what happened to it. It went to all these no-profits, and these non-profits kick back money, and they have little chests. They put on the side, one for me, one for Big Bird, one for me, one for Big Bird. This is what we're living with. Okay, now people are saying Mondummy's police handling the most dangerous calls is very nice, but here's the real statistic here. This is this community safety bullshit. Okay, mental health calls are under 150,000 out of millions handled by the NYPD. The existing pilot program, Be Heard, only handles about 25% of those calls in limited areas. Critics say the NYPD still handled the most dangerous situation. Debate continues on whether this plan will actually succeed. I don't think so, because the first guy, here's what I say to you, Mr. Mayor. You like these community people? Why do you have cops guarding you? I saw you on TV the other day. You had 16 security guys, and they weren't your community people. Why don't you have them and let the cops go and protect the other people if you think they're that good there, jerky face? Okay. All right. More DSA activists on the payroll. Mondummy now just hired 14, listen to this one, mass engagement staffers. All 6 figures, totaling $2 million. Mondummy, all of a sudden now, has them responding to ICE response teams, compliance with Sanctuary City. I tell you what, Mondummy, here, it's very simple. What happened in Minnesota doesn't have to happen. It doesn't have to happen anywhere in this country. Why don't we just, when you get an illegal alien, immigrant, whatever the hell you want to call them, that commits a violent felony, why can't you turn them over to ICE? They could go to the court, take them right out of there. They don't have to go into the neighbors. I told the president, let's go around this country, and if the cities and states don't want to cooperate, what we do, no federal funding for their cities or their states, that would be the answer. All I'm asking, I don't want to take my friend Julio the gardener. I don't want a dishwasher. I want the violent, illegal criminals to get the hell out of my country. That's what I want. And if the cities cooperate with, instead of sanctuary bullshit, we'd be able to do that. Okay. All right. Now, all of a sudden, he uses DEI. This is his new thing with Mondami. Here's a little something. He has a DEI company now. He put this together. Okay, here is the statistics. There's 22% white. That's all there is. And all of a sudden, they have 22% white. Black is 27%. Hispanics 22%. White are 22%, Asia 11%. What the hell do we need? A commission for racial equality. What racial equality? What do you want to do? Get rid of Chinese, the Spanish, or the black? Now you're white. What are you talking about, you fool? You are only under the what do you call that? Democratic Socialists of America morons. That's what it's all about. And you know what? When this young man, he's not a young man, he's an 83-year-old Air Force veteran, was pushed in front of a train and eventually died. You know what? The Honduran that did it, he was illegal. He was deported 4 friggin' times, and he was yet brought back in here under your sanctuary cities. Where was Mondami? Thousands of New York's finest turned out for the congratulate at the Madison Square Garden. Loved the NYPD. Where were you, dickhead? Where were you, Mondami? You hate cops, so don't have them protecting you. Okay, Mondami some more, yeah. All of a sudden, you started this. We started about anti-Semitic thing of these reports, anti-Jewish incidents. It was popping. It was an eye-popping, 182%. In Mondami's first month in office, with 31 reports this January compared to 11 in January 2025. But in February, the NYPD changed the rules, and they only counted the crimes if they're investigated by the Hate Crime Task Force. So in other words, if you have a rabbi in front of his synagogue, and he's in rabbi outfit there, and he gets punched in the face, that ain't a hate crime unless it's investigated and it's deemed a hate crime. That's bullshit. Okay, taxes. Mondami's pushing to raise corporate tax. I got a business here. Raise corporate taxes. The Democratic lawmakers are pushing to raise the corporate tax rate. This is a very popular tax increase. Let me see the governor stay strong. She said no new taxes. Let's see, Snaggletooth. Let's see if you stand by it. Because you know what? They're talking about boosting up the top rate from 16% to 50%. That's on the taxes that people are going to have on the inherited tax. When you die, you pay taxes on it. Now they want you to pay 50% of the money you're going to give to the kids. So if I left one of my kids $100,000, Mondami and company want you to pay $50,000 on the money that I already paid the taxes on that I want to give to my children. Something's wrong with that picture there. Okay, you know, there's a lot of political tensions going on between Mondami and my black brothers. All these are middle-class voters. They're smart. They work every day, my friends. My black friends are and they're family-orientated. They're starting to see his fugazi ideas. Mondami's losing major support with black middle class. Queens homeowners, many facing rising prices with property values. There is a proposed 9.5% property tax hike. And these are my brothers who worked their butts off to buy a house, and now you want to strangle them? There's concerns all coincide with the cutting the estate tax threshold. This is the estate tax. They want to go to $750,000 and raising the rates. It's all about one thing, like I mentioned. If you want to leave money to your children, I work my ass off. I save money. And when I die, maybe I'll die today, tomorrow, the next day, I have a will where my kids get the money. Now, you want me to give you 50% of the taxes that I paid already? I want to leave it to my kids. I don't want to give it to you, dummy. Oh, I'm sorry, but I get angry. You're listening to Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. Please stay tuned with this message, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
This is Roger Stone for American Sovereign Bullion. Since 2020, the U.S. dollar has lost over 20% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold continues to rise. Call 844-272-2428 or go to asbgold.com now to get your free gold and silver guide and learn how to protect your wealth with physical gold and silver delivered to your door or held in a gold IRA today. So go to asbgold.com now. Don't wait for the markets to drop. That's asbgold.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Okay, on the national level, J.D. Vance is now part of this fraud thing. I'm so happy. And that Ilhan Omar, that congresswoman, he's saying that she committed fraud with her immigration fraud. I think she married her brother. And then all of a sudden, over there in the Somaliland, over there in Minnesota, they're looking at $1 billion of Medicaid fraud. This is prevalent. And we got it here in New York State. The Medicaid fraud, we see it every day. Over in Minnesota, they couldn't even spell the word right for the home care, for the child care. This is what's going on. If we stop the fraud, maybe we'd have more money in America here. And you know what? My friend Holman, I like him. He's our border czar. And I'm just glad that we were able to get the president to release some monies for the TSA. I talked to the director of the TSA, McNeil, very lovely lady, and she said things are tight. Here's my suggestion, too. We got ICE in our airport helping the TSA. Let's take the damn ICE off their uniform, put police on their backs, because when people see ICE, all of a sudden their brain goes to those 2 people that were killed in Minnesota. Take it off. Just put police on there. They're assisting the TSA. Another thing is, it's not just the TSA. Right now there's a freeze. CISA. You know what CISA is? That's our computer intelligence network that go against hacking, people hacking into our computers. The Secret Service, the Coast Guard, all these divisions are on freeze. Why? 2 people, Plughead, Senator Schmuck Schumer, and Hakeem Jeffries, 2 morons, just don't want to go along. How about let's worry about the safety and security of Americans? We're in a war right now with Iran. You could call it whatever you want. We're in a war. And you know what? When we had North Korea was frightening us with the little missile man there, that was one thing. He knew what he wanted. But now we're dealing with these fanatics, these religious fanatics that want to kill themselves and kill us, kill Israel. They want you dead. Also, all my female friends that are listening, you should look up some of the things that are occurring in Iran. If you're a woman, you don't wear your habib, whatever it's called, and they do this, they do that. They don't like something that was not with their Sharia law. What they do, they bury you in the ground up to your neck. And then they stone you to death. This is what you're dealing with right now. This is a psychopath country because it's run by these religious moron idiots. And that's what Iran's about. And I tell you what, don't you tell me if they didn't have an atomic bomb, we would see a mushroom cloud in New York. What worries me, we have a freeze on Homeland Security. We need more because they have sleeper cells there that I know are going on, and they're going to make multiple attacks, and then everyone's going to say, how did that happen? How did that happen? And I'm going to tell you something. How it happened, we're going to let our guard down. I was down there 9/11. And you know what? Bin Laden started a lot before. They bombed the embassies. They bombed the different embassies. They also killed the 4 FBI agents in Pakistan. This was all leading up. And then our Central Intelligence Agency knew about this group of Saudi Arabians. I think there was 17 or 18 that were being trained to fly planes, but not to land them. No communication. That's why Homeland Security was formed. Homeland Security was formed after 9/11 to protect for the safety and security of Americans. And now we have a freeze on it. How dare you do this? I want everybody, call up your senator, call up your congressman. Let's fund Homeland Security. And if anything, we should put more money in that. All right. Now, Christine Noem, she was my old boss. Everyone asked, there was something there with her husband wearing a prosthetic breast thing or whatever. And people say, well, what difference does it make? Because someone aspires, somebody that wants to utilize and get knowledge off of Christine Noem when she was dead at Homeland Security, that could definitely be an indifference. So you want to know something? I'm sorry, Christy. I really like you a lot. We've had dinner together, but this is a serious infraction. And the whole thing right now is we have to be secure and safe. And this doesn't look too good, put it that way. Now, one of the most important things that I think about is autism. I'm a grandfather, and I know you have children, grandchildren. This just came out from the Whitehead Institute for Biomedical Research. We just found out that autism has a genes link. About 1 in 20 boys in America are diagnosed with autism by the age of 8. Now, for girls, it's a little different. It's 1 out of 70 to 100 are diagnosed with autism. This is a really serious issue, and we must find out if we could use this gene thing to test children before they're born. Maybe we can help them. Maybe we could put some super genes in them. I ain't a scientist, but maybe with all this GDP and all this AI, maybe we could find a way of changing the direction of these autism genes to clear them out of that young person being born. And maybe we could do something. That's what we should be working on, not the bull crap that they do. Now, one more thing. Okay, Sharia law. Okay, we all know about that. And it's in mostly the Muslim countries. Some of them are very strict and some are not. And I talked about what goes on in Iran with these poor women, these beautiful Iranian women, how they're being treated. And now it's like open season. They're being raped. They're being beat up. They're being murdered. And this is under the pretense of this Sharia law in Iran. Do we really want to support that? And here's another one. That's the Sharia law. You know what? They're going to have Sharia law. We have a few of them in I think, in Michigan. These are not courts. These are just like groups. But they'll be coming to Manhattan. I guarantee you, we're going to have a Sharia court organization in New York City with this Mandami guy. Now, and I said before, the rocket man in North Korea was one psychopath. He ain't half as bad as what we're dealing with the influx of who's running Iran. Iran is run by these psycho moron terrorists that don't care about human life. They would die. They want you to die. So that's why. And what the president did, I know a lot of people don't like it, but you want to know something? Wow. If we didn't, there would be a mushroom cloud over New York, certainly over Israel. But we have to do what we have to do. And one more thing on this one. I'm Catholic. I don't go to church that often, but I'm Catholic. A lot of people don't know what's going on in Africa. In Africa, tens of thousands of Christians are being murdered by these radical Muslims. Doesn't anybody care about those poor Christians in Africa? Israel, you're a powerful country. Right near. You could throw a rock and you can hit North Africa where they are. Please, Israel, help the Christians in Africa. We helped you from them slaughtering you. We need you to go over there and maybe we could take over a couple of these tribes, these radical Muslim pieces of garbage. And it's just, I don't understand why people are not outraged about Christians being murdered like this. They did it to the Jewish people in the 1930s and 40s, and now the Christians are targeted. The Christians, the Jews, everybody's being targeted. My Muslim brothers who are not radical, please, I know every Muslim's not a radical, but the ones that are, we have to be able to separate ourselves. And all I want to do is have a peaceful world where we live together. You believe in what you believe in, God bless you. Don't force it upon me. Whatever I believe in, that's my will. And whatever you believe in, that's your will. Until next week, I want you to tell your friends, please turn into Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. I'm on Tuesday mornings with Sid Rosenberg, but then I love doing my podcast. And I want you to turn and tell your people about One Tough Podcast. Last week, we have the president of the DEA, the Detective Endowment Station, Detective Endowment Association, and Scott Monroe, and it's a great interview, and you'll get some insight on that. Until next week, please tell your friends, tune in to Bo Dietl's One Tough Podcast. Have a great week.
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.